Hey Rangers, this is Commander Ken with Outpost 371. Today we're going to talk about Toolcraft. Specifically, I'm going to talk about knives. These are three different types of knives right here, but we're not going to talk about those quite yet. Let's go over to the board and talk about the different parts of a knife. Alright, so this is considered a locking blade knife. And on the locking blade knife, this front section right here, the whole part is actually called the blade. This back section right here in our diagram is considered the blade, but the whole portion is the blade. Right here we have the nail mark, is what you use to put your fingernail in to open up the knife. This back here is called the false edge. Out here we have the point. On the bottom part right here, that's the sharp edge. Okay? Right here, the last section of the blade is called the choil, that little bump right there. The back section of the knife, we have these two parts right here, which is normally made of metal or something like that. That's called the bolster. This section right here is called the handle or the banding. All these little points right here, those are considered the holding pins that hold the knife together so it doesn't fall apart. And on the back section right here, we have the release button. That's different in every knife almost, but on this one, this locking blade, this is the release button. All right, let's go back over to the knives over here. So we have a couple different types of knives right here. This right here is called a fixed blade knife. It's in a leather sheath. It's got a little snap part right here that holds it into the sheath. When you pull it out, as you can see, it does not fold together. Again, it's called a fixed blade knife. On this knife, we have some of the features that we talked about on the board right there. This is the choil. This outer portion right here is the sharp edge. Here's the point. This is the false edge. This is the handle right here. We have some holding pins right here that hold the handle to the blade itself. We're going to put this back inside the sheath here just for a few seconds so we can talk about these other knives. This is considered a locking blade knife as well, or a Swiss Army knife. It has serrated edges on it. And the release button right here, this is where the release button is on this. It is not out on the back, so we can shut the knife that way. This is a different type of knife, but it's very similar to the rest. It's got a little thumb point on the end that you can open it up with. And the release buttons on this, it has two of them. There's a little red dot right here. That's the first thing you got to push in. And then you have to pull this release lever inside in order for the blade to shut. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about with the knives before we go to our different rules is how to hand a knife to somebody. Now, I don't have anybody to hand this to, so I'm going to hand it to myself. If this is the knife that I'm handing to somebody and I don't have a sheath, what I want to do is I want to hold the knife with the blade facing away from me and away from the person I'm handing it to, and I give the knife to the person, and he's going to grab it, and before I let go of this knife, he's going to say thank you, and I'm going to say you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. All right? Let's put this knife back inside the sheath here. All right. The last thing we want to talk about is the 3 laws of tool safety. The first law is common sense. Always handle all tools properly. Never play with them, and never use them in a manner that the tool was not designed for. Take care of your tools, and they will take care of you. That means put them back in the sheath so they don't become rusty. Fold them back together after you're done using them. The second law is courtesy. Always say thank you in receiving a knife, and you're welcome when giving it to another person. And the last law is safety. Choose the right tool for the job. Use tools in a specific Toolcraft area. Keep all tools with a cutting edge sheathed when not in use, and keep sharp edges pointed away from the body when you are using them. Follow each rules of the tool safety. All right? Again, thank you for joining us. I'm Commander Ken. Have a good day.